Welcome back, What Do I Know fans. I'm your host, Jeremy Davis. I just want to get straight into it. So today I'm going to do my March Madness tournament bracket. There's 2 games on tonight. We got Fairfield Dickinson versus Prairie View, and then we got Temple versus Belmont. So this is the first 4 in. So there's 68 teams, and then these 4 teams to play to make the actual 64 bracket. So they're playing tonight. Prairie View and Fairfield Dickinson. I've never seen Fairfield Dickinson play, so I'm going to go with Prairie View. And then Temple and Belmont, I've actually seen Temple play. I think they're a pretty decent team, so I'm going to go with Temple. What that does is that puts what's the other team? Some other team, and they're going to be going in the South, I believe. In the West. So out of them 2, those are going to the West bracket, and then the Belmont and Temple winner will go into the Midwest bracket, I believe. But let me get right to it. We're going to start in the South. Virginia versus Gardner-Webb, easy. I'm going to go with Virginia. Ole Miss versus Oklahoma. I don't like Oklahoma's team. I don't think they're too good, so I'm going to go with Ole Miss. Wisconsin versus Oregon. I'm going with Wisconsin. Kansas State versus UC Irvine. I like Kansas State. Villanova versus St. Mary's. That's going to be closer than a lot of people think, but I'm still going to go with Villanova. Purdue versus Old Dominion. Never seen Old Dominion play, so I'm going to go with Purdue. Cincinnati and Iowa. I'm actually going to pick Iowa. Even though Iowa is the number 10, I feel like they could make it out the first round. And then Tennessee versus Colgate, I'm going to go with Tennessee. So then we have Virginia versus Ole Miss. I'm going Virginia. Wisconsin versus Kansas State. I'm going to go Kansas State. I think their defense is really going to be a proven factor against Wisconsin. Villanova versus Purdue, definitely going with Purdue. And then Iowa and Tennessee, going with Tennessee. So then that brings us to Virginia, Kansas State. Of course, going Virginia. And then it gives me Purdue versus Tennessee, and I'm going Tennessee. Then we'll go to the East. Duke versus whoever's 16. I got Duke. No question. VCU versus UCF. I've never seen either of them play. So I'm going to go with VCU. Mississippi State versus Liberty. I like Liberty's team, but that's a tough matchup with Mississippi State. Mississippi State has some very, very, very good guards. Virginia Tech versus St. Louis. I'm going with Virginia Tech. I just want y'all to know that any ACC team that I can pick, I'm going to pick. Because the ACC was the hardest conference to play in this year, so I'm going to pick them. Maryland versus Belmont/Temple. I'm going to go with Maryland. LSU versus Yale. LSU. Minnesota versus Louisville. I'm taking Louisville. Michigan State versus Bradley. I'm taking Michigan State. I'm also going to preface this by saying this. I do expect to have 3 ACC teams in the Final Four. And I also expect to have Gonzaga in the Final Four. So that should be my Final Four. But let me go Duke, VCU. I'm going to go Duke, Mississippi State, Virginia Tech. I'm going to go Tech, actually. And then Maryland versus LSU. I will go... That's tough. I'm going LSU. Louisville, Michigan State. Got to go with Michigan State. So then again, Duke is playing Virginia Tech for the 4th time. I do believe Duke is going to win that, get them to the Elite Eight. And then I'm also going to go, LSU, Michigan State. I'm going to go Michigan State. I believe in Tom Izzo. And then let me go Gonzaga or Fairfield Dickinson or Prairie View. We're going to go Gonzaga. Syracuse, Baylor. I'm going to go Syracuse. I actually like Syracuse's team. Marquette or Murray State. I want so much for Ja Morant to get out of the first round and beat Marquette. So I'm going to put Murray State. If you have not seen Ja Morant play, please tune into this game. This man is a baller. A baller. Florida State versus Vermont, Florida. Buffalo versus Arizona State. I'm taking Buffalo. Texas Tech versus Northern Kentucky. Taking Texas Tech. Nevada versus taking Nevada over Florida. Michigan over Montana for sure. So then we'll go Gonzaga versus Syracuse. I'm going to take the Zags. Murray State versus Florida State. This is where the Ja Morant tour ends. They will lose to Florida State. Get blown out by Florida State, actually. Really good defensive team. Texas Tech or Buffalo. Texas Tech has a really, really good team. I'm going to go Texas Tech. And then Nevada, Michigan. I'm going to Michigan. So the team that's going to put them in the Final Four, Elite Eight. I'm going to go with Gonzaga over Florida State. And I'm going to go with Texas Tech over Michigan. And then we'll move on to the Midwest. North Carolina over Iona. I got Washington over Utah State. I got Auburn over New Mexico. Kansas over Northeastern. I actually have Ohio State over Iowa State. U of H over Georgia State. Wofford. I've never seen Wofford or Seton Hall. I guess I'll go with Wofford. And then Kentucky versus Abilene Christian. I'm going with Kentucky. So then we have North Carolina, Washington. Got North Carolina. Auburn versus Kansas. This is the end for Kansas once again. So I'm going to give North Carolina, Auburn. And then Ohio State, U of H. I got U of H. Really, really, really solid team this year. I think they can make it to the Elite Eight. But it's going to be close. That Kentucky team is pretty good. But I feel like U of H can take them. North Carolina or Auburn. I'm going North Carolina. And then U of H and Kentucky. I'm going U of H. I'm going to be a homer. I'm going U of H. I don't think Kentucky is that good. But I'm going to go U of H. So then Gonzaga, Texas Tech. I'm going Gonzaga. And then U of H, North Carolina. So North Carolina, Gonzaga in my Final Four. And then I'll have Duke and Virginia. I think Virginia can beat Tennessee for sure. And I feel like Duke, they just have too much offensive weapons for Michigan State's team. Now, Duke or Gonzaga for the Final Four, and Virginia versus North Carolina. This is where it gets tough. I think that the experience of Virginia is going to eclipse North Carolina. So I have Virginia in the final. And then I think Duke is going to get its revenge on the early season loss to Gonzaga. So I got Duke. Oh, man. And then we're talking about Duke versus Virginia. This is where it breaks my heart to say this, but I have Virginia as the NCAA champion. I think that they have so much experience and they know what Duke wants to do. And this is going to be their revenge game. The final score, I'm going to say 67-63. I think that Virginia is going to edge this one out. I do believe that the Duke freshmen are going to struggle. It's a lot of pressure to play in these type of games. But I just got to go with Virginia. And that's my NCAA bracket. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. If you have anything different, any type of picks that you might want to ask me about, any type of picks that you feel like I'm wrong about, don't hesitate. Let me know. and then we can discuss it. All right, peace.